everybody, I have a quick journal flip through. I just finished making this and I'm going to put it up on Etsy, but I wanted to show all of you first how cute this journal is. It is a little bit different than the other posts I have. A lot of the posts I have for journals are blank journals that you can use for writing journals or for junk journals. But this one has a little bit more going on inside and it has a lot more details. But it has a lot of room to just let you write. So I wanted to show this to you. So first of all, look at this fabric. Is it not absolutely wonderful? This is a upholstery fabric. It's kind of got a 1970s vibe with the brown and the mustard and the avocado green colors going on. And so I put this grass green ribbon as a closure for it, but this fabric is absolutely amazing to feel, and so I've kind of left the outside of it. Oops, it's got some threads from that's picked up on my desk, because I have been shredding fabric on my desk, but it's just absolutely gorgeous fabric. And so I've kept with these colors throughout this journal as I've added things to it. And it has also these two D-ring loops over here that are attached with a brad that are holding the closure. And this is detachable fully right now. And I've added a dangle onto this that has a coin and a piece of lace and these little tags that I've made out of just a piece of a flower from like nursery catalog. So that's just a really cute, fun little extra that you have. So this is that, and I found some in my stash, some kind of colors, like I said, that match along with this. And so I've added, first of all, it has a pocket in the front and in the back, and giving you a little bit of a sneak peek here of the goodies that are inside of here. And so this is a pocket, and this is just a piece of scrapbook paper that's been inked, and I stitched around using the zigzag stitch and attached a pocket in the front and the back. And so if you want to take a look, there's a little tiny mini journal that matches this with some, I made this out of scrapbook paper that I had that I felt like really went really well with this, and I've added some things. This is just a tiny little journal card. You can write on the front and the back, or you could add images or whatever it is and decorate. And then it's just got a couple of pieces of tea-dyed paper and some things like that. And it's got another little pocket at the back with another little tag that's in that orange color. Just very, very cute. This journal is full of things like this. And then there is this tag, bookmark, whatever you want to use it for. And it's got a brad with a flower, and it's all inked and a little cluster up there. And this is some handmade, hand marbled paper that I made a while back, and I just thought it went really well with this. And so the marbling is kind of faint, but you can definitely see it in person. It's very pretty. There, you can kind of see it there. And so that's very pretty, and that's in there. And then, so that's in the front pocket. And then this is just a journal card, a placeholder. I put a frame. It's stitched around the edge in this beautiful, like, scrapbooking paper. It's got this edge so you can tuck a photo or whatever memorabilia you want into there. And then there is an extra piece of paper here, and it's just some graph paper from an old lab notebook actually, so that's kind of fun, and that's there. And then this is on a piece of packing paper, and I used a piece of packing paper in each of the 3 signatures. Before I go any farther, I'll show you this has 3 signatures, and I'll tell you at the end how many pages are in here. And so this is this, and it's very crinkly, and it sounds really good, and there's this pocket. And then I just have a piece of like tea dye paper, kind of decorating that because I tried to decorate these brown paper papers. And then there's another piece of this notebook paper that we've already seen. This is from a real lab notebook. It's got the like lab numbering there. And then there's I think this is avocado dyed paper that I've stitched around and done a decorative stitch with on my sewing machine. And there's a lot of like decorative stitching in this journal. And then this is a lab filter paper that has been coffee dyed, and you can see the lines. It's very interesting, and there's a couple of those in here. And then there's this hand painted jelly print that I did that's got like this beautiful burnt sienna color that I've used in this journal. And then that's just the back of that beautifully hand painted paper. Hand printed paper and more coffee dyed paper, and this is some of the scrapbooking paper. So this is the middle of the signature, and this was a 12 by 12 sheet that I've made into a file folder. So it has pockets, and there's a piece of this coffee dyed avocado paper that's just kind of an extra piece for you to decorate with, and a journal card that's got hand sewing and a herringbone stitch, and it's blank on the back, but you could add pictures or journaling space there. And then there is this other little kind of matchbook type booklet that I've included, and that's here, and it's got some coffee dyed paper, a very fragile one. You could write short little notes to yourself or quotes or just words of inspiration, or you could tear these out and use them at other places in your book. And this is really kind of cute, and it's got a decorative little flower there that kind of goes with the theme of the cover with all those big beautiful flowers on it. And so that's there, and this folder is also stitched all the way around and very nice, and you can keep all of your mementos in there. And I loved this. Looks like a 70s like men's button-up shirt that like maybe my dad would have worn back in the 70s, and so I really love this fabric, and I felt like, or this paper, and I just thought it fit so great with the cover fabric, and just was thrilled that I had that. There's that with the stitching, and that, which we've already seen, that's the other piece of that jelly printed paper. It's very pretty, very fun. And this filter paper, there's a lot of fun papers. I tried to include some very fun papers in here, the lab notebook paper, and this is just kind of going back, and this is on the other side of this, where I've taken a cutting of the paper, and this is just decorative tab on the top here, and it kind of pokes up above the page a little bit, and that's that. And then this is the next signature, obviously, and that's just a blank writing paper. You can decorate this however you want. And then I have notebook paper here. I've taken, again, that paper and done a border with this and stitched that on there. So you have that, and this is just crinkly and fun. This is like just the crinkliest, best packing paper. I love having that in there. And then this is a coffee filter. And then this is another piece of just hand-painted paper, and I was doing a bubbling technique, and I think I had a glass, and I was making bubbles through a like just a mesh bag like you would get lemons in or produce in, and that was very fun, and it's kind of got this burnt sienna color again. And there is a file pockets in the center of each signature. So here's another journal card, just very pretty flower in there. The back of it is pink. It's very nice. This is a piece of graph paper that is the same as, this is also used as pages in this book. and more coffee dyed paper or avocado dyed paper, more of this hand painted paper. That's just the other one, and this is the back, and there's a tuck space with this beautiful decorative stitch that I did, and just some like scraps of this pretty avocado dyed paper for you to play with. And there is an envelope that I made out of graph paper with another journal card tucked inside, and that's kind of a fun little thing. Very cute. It's got this pretty decorative stitching, and you can tuck whatever you want up into these like tuck spaces, and I just love this decorative stitch that's got these like flowers or asterisks like that. And that is that one, and this is the last signature. So you'll see there's another piece of packing paper, and the same thing with the like decorative paper that's been stitched on with the sewing machine, and then the graph paper, some blank paper. There's a lot of blank spaces in this book for you to fill in and do your own thing. And then there's also a lot of added in things here. I've made a bookmark using the fabric from the cover, stitched around, and that's included in this book. It's very cute. And that's just another piece of this same hand painted paper, the filter paper, all of this. And there is a different graph paper. This is really nice paper. And that's just a half a sheet, and it's folded and tucked in there. And then a couple more journal cards. This is a piece of scrapbooking paper folded in half for you to decorate. You could put pictures in here, you could make notes, you could do whatever you want. And then another journal card, lots of spaces to journal, and these are all pictures out of a nursery catalog, and they've been glued down onto cardstock, so they're nice and sturdy cards. Very pretty images. They just work so well for this. And then there's like a lot of space for decorating and filling in for you here. And this is kind of getting to the end where there's a journal card and some more scrapbook paper and just a little kind of mini bundle of joy that's all held together with this kind of cool brass round paper clip. And that's in a tuck spot at the back. And this is half of it, and the other half is here. This is an envelope. I actually made this. It's out of a very kind of tissue-like paper. But that's kind of a cool little add-in there. And then there's a journal card, another kind of little mini book of paper held together with that decorative stitch. Very pretty, very cute little journal. That's that. And then another piece of graph paper is tucked in there. This was so much fun to make. I really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching as I flip through this, and I hope it's brought you joy today. Thank you for watching, and I hope this will be inspiring to you to make your own books or to get to into your junk journal and fill those up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you. Bye-bye. Just perfect.